Today we're reviewing the new series Saas, Bahu or Flamingo and global bestseller Lessons in Chemistry. Okay, so before we start today, Namita and I just want to thank all our wonderful viewers out there to help us achieve this milestone.
Yes,
We've reached 2,000 subscribers, yes. And although it may not be a lot for many of the big content creators out there, it's a huge achievement for us because we've been just trying to create content which inspires and motivates all of you and create some positivity in this otherwise chaotic world, right? So thank you all for your love and affection. This means a lot to us. Thank you.
And today is a review segment of our show called Review Therapy. This is one of our personally loved segment on Doctors Today because we get to discuss what our avid reader Simrit has read, and everyone loves to discuss the latest shows they have been watching, movie or they have watched. So, but today, with so much content on television, the movies are coming, and it's nice to know what to watch and what to skip. And that's where I help you decide if there is a show that you would like to binge watch, and just to have background or to understand which one to skip. So this is like my choices. So today yes, and today I'm reviewing a very talked about Hindi show with an evergreen, lovely Dimple Kapadia, that is Saas, Bahu or Flamingo. So both Simrit and I are reviewing the very popular novel Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garment.
Yes, and since I haven't watched this show, I want to know about it. Namita, why don't you start? I love Dimple Kapadia, and my husband, he watched the show before I even knew he was watching, and I'm like I couldn't even get. And then I don't normally watch these shows myself, so I didn't end up knowing anything about it. Let's see if Namita motivates me enough.
Well, but my picks are very very weird at times. I'm like, what do you put? How do you watch such shows? Because they are very strong statements, and
that's what he likes.
A lot of social issues and other things. So this show initially I was like, Saas, Bahu and or Flamingo. What is that? It's like the name itself is like so weird, But like, let me have a quick read about the show. It's like, okay, it looks interesting. So I started watching, and I binge watched it. It was really, really great. So, this show, Simrit, stands as a bold statement to the evolving landscape of Indian television, offering thrilling concussion of matriarchy, crime, and empowerment, women empowerment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's a unique portrayal of matriarchy is a standout feature. And the drug cartel, led by a family of fierce women, breaks away the whole conventional norms, annihilating these egos of men who dare to challenge their authority. So it's something like that. And the message that women are capable of running the show is very, very nicely being narrated, offering a fresh perspective on power dynamics. And Dimple Kapadia.
I watched a little bit about that Arya with Sushmita Sen. Is it similar to that?
Something similar, but that is like on a very, I would say, a different scale in the sense. She was educated. She was well bred. But it's like this show is completely rustic. The remote of Rajasthan or Gujarat, that is where the way that these Rajasthani these women are like, those Banjara women, the refugees, they roam here and there, and exactly how this woman being from such a low background and with no education, how she has come up as a leader in the drug cartel. So this is something very interesting. And there were in that show, there were in this a lot of exploitation as a woman happened to her, and there's a lot of abuse and molestation. There's a lot of issues that didn't cover, which is
so it's a heavy show.
Heavy. It's a heavy show. Yes. At times you're like, oh my God, you feel sad, and the way Dimple Kapadia and the young depiction of her by some other actress has been shown. It's really great. It's heart touching as well. So Dimple Kapadia's portrayal as this ruthless and enigmatic Rani Ba, is a masterstroke of the show. And her ability to convey emotions through her eyes and stillness is very inspiring. It's like awe moment, leaving an indelible mark on the show. So, which is she's the main character, and which is this is where the whole I think the I would say the catch of the show is Dimple Kapadia, and there is also Nasruddin Shah. He has a very small role in that, but I don't know why they gave such a small role. He is such a good actor. So, but yes, and there's another character, Isha
Nasruddin Shah is
Talwar.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Nasruddin Shah is
yeah, but
phenomenal.
his role is very, very less. So surprisingly, maybe they want to go for the next, in the next series, maybe they would have another, and that is a
In the
very
next season. Yeah.
that yeah that's very much coming. That they have very clearly showed that. So another
Wow.
character, which is Isha Talwar, she's a young girl, she's a young, I think, new actress. Um, her nuanced performance adds layers of conviction to her character. And while there are other characters, Radhika Madan and Angi Radhar, they're like new girls and amazing acting, very well played roles. They shine in their own twisted colors and characters, and there's something new. It's like, oh my god! I mean, these young budding actresses are really, really very talented.
Where does the name come from? Where does the name Saas, Bahu, and Flamingo come
Because
from?
this has been run by Saas, Bahu, and Flamingo is a drug. It's a drug which
Oh, interesting.
yeah, and the drug is being homemade
Who's the
in
Bahu?
homemade
The
under the
Saas, Saas.
Saas. Bahus are also are also part of this whole cartel. The sons are abroad living their lives. Okay, the Bahus are with the Sasuma here and running the whole cartel. So it's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds good enough to watch at least once. Like,
Yeah, and and then how they keep inventing new and new drugs. The laboratory is right below, and in the underground basement of their homes, and like, wow,
wow.
it's interesting to watch to see how is
Wow.
it going. And engaging storytelling, bold exploration of matriarchy, and it applauds women's strength in male-driven world, despite some imperfections and those captivate.
So, how many stars? How many stars do you give it?
I'll give 4 stars to the show.
Oh, wow. Pretty
Yes,
high rated.
yes, I rated.
Wonderful.
It's worth 4 stars. It's because
Okay, so that's good. Saas, Bahu, and or Flamingo. Watch it for a bold show. Discussing lessons in chemistry.
Oh, I loved it.
Exactly, absolutely. So this was given best debut fiction in 2022, and this is a wonderful story about a female chemist in the 1950s. So she's a scientist. And the only reason, and this is brilliant because they've taken it to a period where women were not accepted in science. And me and Namita are both science students. So we actually really, I think it was very personal.
What a coincidence, Simrit. I picked up this show where the women are like, they're ruling they're the top of the world. They have all the powers. And now this book is totally opposite, where despite no matter how much hard work you do, you're still being a woman, you are being like looked down upon and you're being pulled down upon.
So exactly. So this was 1950s where women in science were really looked down upon. And she gets this job. I mean, she's trying to pursue her master's, which she does. And she couldn't go for her PhD because she gets sexually molested by her professor. And this is typical of that time. And then when she's working she gets into this big lab, this chemistry lab, and they expect her to make the coffee and do the errands. And this was typical of that time, right?
Yeah. Women are only meant to do the secretary job, the assistant job. That's the only job they want women to do.
And their agenda in life is to get married. And then this Elizabeth Zott is a great, great character that Bonnie Garmus has created.
Yeah.
She's this gorgeous woman who's a misfit in society. She's a scientist. She didn't get along with her parents. She doesn't want to meet her parents. Her brother committed suicide. So she's this misfit. Then she meets another misfit who's brought up as an orphan in a missionary school and was really abused over there as well. But he's this misfit, but he's this brilliant guy of his time. So everybody is giving, they know his name. And he's very odd. And they get involved. So it starts off as almost a love story, but the way it takes off, right?
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so bold. Like, I mean, if this was written in the 1950s, it would have been bold. But they pushed every agenda. A woman in science in 1950s, not acceptable. A woman who got sexually molested, couldn't report it. She couldn't get her PhD because she was too beautiful to be pursuing science, and she gets sexually molested.
Yeah.
Then they fall in love. They're living together. They're doing great. They're chemists, so their chemistry in bed, outside of bed. They're working. Everything is great, but they refuse to get married. So all these agendas are being pushed in this movie, in this book. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love every part of it, and it's heartbreaking. Parts of it just make it. I mean, did you felt that? Was it so heartbreaking?
And and that it's just like a sudden twist. Like what? It just can't be, that I'm like, oh my God.
No. So spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He dies. And it's quite early in the story. And I had to read it 2 times too. And I'm like,
exactly.
That just happened.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. But then again, we go further and it shows the resilience of women and how you can bring children up in different ways. And this wonderful dog, 630, she names him 630 because she found him at 630, this rescue child.
Yeah.
And then the neighbor, Harriet Salone, who comes into her life. And then Walter Pine, all these great characters. They created, this novelist has created some characters who become her family. Then Wakely being the pen pal of Calvin and Hobbes. How she becomes a chef on TV. She has her own cooking show because cooking is chemistry. Okay. Yeah. And it makes you want to get up and like whip up this beautiful meal through chemistry. And she's so, but it was a book of women's empowerment in the 50s, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because she gave women the right on this show that, look, you guys are cooking, but this is chemistry. So go get H2O, you get sodium chloride. She wouldn't use the common names.
Yes.
And the women are taking notes because they're like, we're smart. We can do this. And the husband would be like, what are you doing? You're not that, like, you don't need to, you're just a housewife. And this terminology is today. You're just a housewife. No, you're not. You're running a household. Do you know how difficult it is to run a household?
They can. I really like the thing where she turned her kitchen into a lab, and she has a Bunsen burner. She makes tea in the test tube and like
coffee. The best coffee.
Coffee on the Bunsen burner. Like I remind you of my chemistry lab. Oh, Bunsen burner. I mean, I forgotten that name. Yeah. And the way she was teaching her dog words. And she was keeping now 200 words,
400, and then they
end of the book 1,000 words. It's like wow.
I mean, it's a lot of fiction, but it's really it's a great. The novelist has done, the author Bonnie Garmes has done such a brilliant job that she packed so much into these 370, 380 pages. I mean, I recommend. I was lying on my to be read list for a while, and everybody kept telling me, but when I read it, I was like, wow, kudos.
Yeah.
I really did. So this is like 4.5, 5 thumbs up for this. I mean, I
would 100% agree to it. This book deserves those thumbs ups. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because you and me are science students and we just love getting into that, or it's just a brilliantly crafted book. I don't know, but
I think everybody would like it. It's just that, yes, that was the basic science. That was not that deep science, which we only read in like higher grades. I think, wow. So we have 4.5 stars for Saas, Bahu for Flamingo. And we have like 5 stars for lessons in chemistry. Yay. Definitely. It's a win-win, guys. You should. Yes, you should watch the show. You should read the book and share your thoughts on that. I guess that's all on Talk to Us today. Hope you enjoyed our review therapy segment, and please tell us what you would like us to review in our future episodes. We always look forward to hearing from you all. And if there is anything that you guys see you like about our show, do let us know in the comment section, or you can email us at hello@talktoustoday.com and let your friends know where to find us.
And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m. Also, don't forget to follow our podcast on Spotify. It's Talk to Us Today, and you'll find all our new and old episodes there. So don't forget to follow us on both places. Subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for all your subscriptions, but keep doing it. Keep sending our videos ahead. Thanks for joining us on Talk to Us Today. Remember to talk to us today. Keep smiling, keep laughing, keep reading,
keep watching, keep
and keep
talking.
talking. Bye, guys. Thank you.